Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another session on logic development. Yesterday, we looked at some concept of sequence, and we did discuss some examples. We made an attempt to solve few of them as well. And I had given you some assignments. How many of you solved the assignments? Please raise your hand. Raise your hand means here in this Zoom, you'll have to raise your hand. So there's a reaction where we can just raise hand, likewise, the way I have raised the hand. Have you done that? Still has solved it. Monica has solved. And what about others? Viraj has made an attempt to solve. Bhagyeshi has solved. Very good. Now, the assignments that you are solving, you'll all have to submit them as well. I'll give you an opportunity to submit those assignments on our e-learning portal. So those will automatically be graded and you will know your grades as well. But then, since you have solved those assignments on your own for the first time, it needs to be reviewed. So let's try and review those assignments that you have solved. Now, who has solved the first one? Given three numbers, print their sum and product. That was the simplest assignment that you could come across. Okay, now those who have solved. All those who have solved the first assignment, that was the simplest amongst all of them. Please share your screen and show me the assignment if you have solved. So who would like to share the screen? Okay, let's go ahead with Viraj, who has solved that assignment. And let's see as to how has he gone ahead solving those assignments. Viraj, you are a co-host. You could share and show me how have you solved that assignment. You could share your screen. Let's have a look at the problem statement once again. So the problem statement was given three numbers, print their sum and their product. So there are two specific questions over here. Print their sum and the product. And the question was expect you to accept three numbers. So now let's see what Viraj has done. He has taken numeric first number, second number, and third number. At exam, they're excused from solving the assignments, total sum and final product. Now, total and sum, Viraj, are actually the same. So there is no need for you to say total and sum, total sum, or final product. You could have just said sum and product. That was good enough. Okay, that change variable name. Don't just make it complex unnecessarily. Then you are saying total sum is equal to first number plus second number plus third number. Final product is equal to total sum. Now that's final product is equal to total sum. Now there is a mistake. Okay, now this is not correct. And then they're displaying the final product as well. Let's have solved this particular assignment. It was a simple, straightforward. Okay. Who else has solved this assignment?
Sir, I have solved it, but it is on paper. Can I? Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Sir, I have solved assignment, but on paper. But whatever Viraj has done, it is. I have also done the same, but we need to accept the numbers first, now.
Okay, that's a different case. But I wanted to see the flowchart itself, because then I can pinpoint for everybody what mistake Viraj has done, what others have done. Kaustubh, share your screen.
Share the file with you. After the
No, then we have this tool. Henceforth, you should solve it using that tool itself. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Would I see the files? Kaustubh, share your screen and let us see.
Yes. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes. And Kaustubh, create a separate folder for this, huh? So that
Yes.
you have all your assignments at one place. Now,
Yes. 8 minutes.
close the file.
Sir, is it visible?
Yeah. Not the file. We can see the folder.
Yes. Sir, I'm sharing that, sir. Draw IO.
No, you have shared the Explorer, Windows Explorer. Share the screen so that we can see it. You're sharing a window. Share the screen.
Okay. 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 Now is it visible?
Yes. Yes. So you have taken. Oh, that this is not the question that I was talking about. I was talking about the simpler one. The simpler question was the three numbers and product and sum. Have you solved that?
Sir, actually, I watched recording and I solved this.
Okay. Okay. We'll be coming back to this particular solution. But
Okay.
who has solved the second other one?
तो मैंने सॉल्व किया है आपसे शेयर किया है
Arun?
फाइल शेयर किया है मैंने
Share the file. Why don't you share the screen so that we all can see it at one time?
तो वो मैंने डाउनलोड करते समय एज अ पीडीएफ सेव किया था तो वो फोल्ड उस टूल में ओपन नहीं हो रहा है इस वजह से
Okay. So let us open up her file and then we all will have a look at it. So I'm just sharing my screen so that we can see her file. The problem was simplest one, given three numbers, print their sum and product. The problem couldn't have been simpler than this. Huh? It couldn't have been simpler than this. And here is what she has solved. Numeric number one, numeric number two, numeric number three, addition, product. The question was please enter first number, she accesses the first number, please enter second number, access the second number, third number, access the third number. She performs the addition and she has created a variable called as addition. She performs the multiplication of all the three numbers and displays the addition in the product. Now that's perfect way to solve this particular assignment. Viraj, now have you realized where have you gone wrong? So one was addition. So first thing is like we'll have to accept the three numbers. So good part over here is every input has been given in a separate statement. I see a lot of people going ahead writing a statement saying please enter three numbers. Now that's not the way to go about. Don't accept more than one input data in one statement. Luckily over here it was three numbers, but if I am accepting the roll number, percentage marks and the grade of the student, if the order changes, that creates a problem. So it's a good practice to accept every input in a separate statement. So the first one is enter the first number. I hope the screen is visible. Huh? Then we accept the first number, enter the second number, we accept the second number, we accept the third number, we display the message and then we accept the third number. We perform the operation of addition, then we perform the operation of multiplication of all the three products, and then we display the addition and the multiplication, and then we stop. It's a very nice way to solve it. It couldn't have been better than this. There is hardly any suggestion that I can give because everything seems to be smooth. Only thing is like for start, stop, any of those symbols are okay, but it was a very good attempt that was being made. Now that she has solved this particular assignment and all of you have seen this, okay, if anybody has any question, please ask. It was the simplest and straightforward question that was there. Anybody has any question? Viraj, have you understood your mistake?
Yes, sir.
The other question that was given was about the trip. I'm directly jumping onto that particular problem statement. The reason is very simple because he has solved it, Kaustubh has solved it. So we'll talk about it. So this was an assignment. So those who are not present yesterday, have a look at this particular assignment. It says, Sharon would like to know how much gas will cost her for her to take a trip to vacation home 180 kilometers away. So her home is 180 kilometers away. And she would like to know how much gas will cost her. So what's the cost of the travel is what she would like to calculate. So when you read the problem, try and understand the crux. So write a solution to calculate the cost of the gas for the trip. So here the problem definition is almost given, but it also reminds us that the traveler has to come back. So the total cost, she's not like going from Pune to 180 kilometers, say somewhere near Nasik. So it's not like Pune to Nasik jana hai, Nasik se wapis bhi aana hai. So she would like to come back as well. She knows the price of the gas per liter. Now she knows means we'll have to ask her and the average kilometer per travel per liter. So she knows how much performance her vehicle gives. So she knows. So we'll have to ask her. And based on that, we'll have to calculate. And many of you had done the discussion yesterday for this. Other than Kaustubh, anybody else has solved this particular thing? I would like to look at the solution for all of them who have solved it. Kaustubh के अलावा किसी ने solve किया है? Prithviraj has solved it. So Prithviraj, show me a solution.
One second.
Meanwhile, Kaustubh, save it as a PDF and share that solution on the chat.
Yes, sir, yes.
So I'll open up and I'll review that solution there and there itself. Meanwhile, others already have the problem statement with us, with you. For anybody who does not have a problem statement, I'm just sharing the problem statement, all the problem statements that were given as an assignment.
Sir, I have
Yes,
sent
sir.
you.
I haven't received, but send a mail or something. I'm saying on in the chat. Zoom chat.
Yes, sir. I have sent it now. Sir, have you received it?
Yet. Okay. See what Prithviraj has done. He has calculated. Hold on. We can see the screen. He calculates. He has taken a variable called as distance to be traveled. Now I see a lot of mistakes in the first instance where he has defined the variables. Can somebody identify the mistakes? Prithviraj, please zoom the screen. Even more. Now, in defining the variable itself, there are a lot of improvements that can be done. Can somebody identify the mistakes that he has committed?
Sir,
Data
he
type
has.
defined.
Louder.
Data type defined नहीं किया
Data
है
type you have not specified. Prithviraj is always required to specify the nature of the data that will be accepted. So first, data type is missing. Anything else?
Constant capital many.
So that which one should be constant, Viraj?
First one.
First variable should have been constant. And if it wasn't constant, the naming convention says
Capital letters.
capital में. So that was another glaring mistake. Another mistake in the first defining case.
Assignment.
What is mistake in assignment? The first variable definition. What is the mistake?
Double quotes.
Variable definition में first box. First was the first variable should have been constant. Okay. Second was the data type was not specified. There was one more mistake.
first character in capital letter.
So which is the variable where it has gone wrong?
Total cost of the gas.
Total cost of the gas. We said variable names we should always ideally follow lower camel case. And Prithviraj has gone ahead using upper. Not even camel case, it's a snake case with first T as capital. So that total cost of the gas, T capital, that's not the right way to go about. So that's another area where I'd like to improve. Next, anybody can find the mistake. We are good at finding mistakes. What is the next mistake? Please go down. Double quotes. So when he puts an output string, output, enter the price of the gas, if it's a message, that should come in double quotes. Every output message should come in double quotes. So there is where the double quotes were expected. So just please scroll down.
Arrow पण नाही sir.
Arrow पण आहे पण आपल्याला arrow draw करायला आवडत आपण म्हटलं equal to चालून जाईल असं म्हटलं. It was just a bit difficult to draw an arrow. But later I found out there were a lot of arrows which were there, which we could use. Let's see whether at least the logic is correct or not. Huh? So he says liters of the gas required is distance to be traveled divided by mileage of the car. And so he says enter the mileage of the car. Is that statement correct other than double quotes?
Enter
Is
the
it-
mileage of the car in kilometers.
Kilometers per what? Per minute, per hour?
Per
What
hour.
kind of mileage? So unless and until you do not give the units, he will say, oh, I have given per minute. And that mileage per minute is not something which you are looking out for. Because you have accepted gas per kilometer. I enter the price of the gas per liter. And he is accepting gas price per kilometer. Is there a gas price per kilometer? Does every kilometer the gas price changes? Look at the variable name, gas price per kilometer. Okay. So the gas price per kilometer doesn't make any sense. So there is a lot of improvement that needs to be done in this solution. Let's switch over to the solution that Viraj has solved. Kaustubh has solved. So I'm saving the file. And I'll jump onto the solution that Kaustubh has solved to see if there is any mistake. Sequence assignment. No, this is the problem statement. So this is the solution that Kaustubh has come across. So he says numeric constant, total trip in kilometers. What is total trip in kilometers? Total trip or total distance? The total trip in kilometers, that doesn't sound good. Okay, it's a distance of the trip in kilometers, correct? So that is one thing that you could have done. Then cost of the gas, average of the car, cost of the gas and total gas required. But what have you been asked to calculate? You have been asked to calculate the cost
Total
of the
cost of gas.
no.
Cost of trip.
Cost. What does it say? Where is the problem statement? It says calculate the total cost of the gas. Okay, total cost of the gas. Okay, that's what has been asked to calculate. Total cost of the gas. Here you go. So total cost of gas is a variable that is already defined. And here is in kilometers, that variable needs to be altered. Please enter the cost of the gas in rupees. Now tell me, if I ask you what's the cost of the gas in rupees, or what's the gas cost of the petrol in rupees, you tell me.
105 sir.
105 काय?
105 rupees
Per liter.
per
नहीं
liter.
नहीं per liter है ना?
Yes
So
sir.
units कहाँ है? So it could have been like I can get fuel petrol for 5 rupees also and 500
Yes.
rupees also. So that units of measurement again needs to be altered. Please enter the average of the car in kilometers.
Yes sir. Here
Okay.
also.
Car in kilometers, average of the car. So now please enter the average of the car in kilometers. Think about it. Can we rewrite this particular statement? And then he says total trip in kilometers, total gas is equal to total cost of the gas is equal to total gas required into cost of the gas. So you get the average. Okay. So 360 kilometers is what we have taken. That's correct. And total cost of the gas in rupees is total cost of gas. Total cost of gas. Okay. So logically it is correct. But then the corrections that we said are something which is recommended. So can you share the XML file with us?
What sir?
XML file.
Yes sir. Yes, I can check.
Please share so that we can edit in the same file directly. I need not write the thing.
Yes
directly.
sir. Yes. Yes.
Share the XML file. Yes, Prithviraj, what's the question? You have raised your hand. Do you have any question?
I did not lower the hand when I first raised it for the last question.
So now Kaustubh has shared the XML file. Now, since we have that XML file, we could directly open it and we could edit that file so that we'll have the correct answer or whatever changes needs to be done. Here we go. So this is the solution that Kaustubh has come up with. Let's work on that solution and make the changes wherever required. That's the reason I said, let's have this file so that even I can edit. So let's say, okay, now a suggestion from your side. First thing that I would do is I would not have it center aligned. I'd rather have left aligned, all these. So I'd rather have it left aligned. So it would be much more readable. You may say, sir, it is less readable because it goes beyond that line. So we can always indent and adjust the line. Or we could just shift it slightly over here. So left alignment is better looking. Okay. Any suggestion for the name of the variable?
Total trip distance.
In kilometers. Okay. So total distance in kilometers भी लिख सकते हैं. Okay. Total trip distance in kilometers भी लिख सकते हैं. Total trip distance kilometer भी लिख सकते हैं. In नहीं लिखा तो भी चलेगा. So one can understand. So it's distance kilometer kind of total trip distance kilometers. So that's 360 numeric cost or whatever it is you have taken. Please enter the cost of the gas in rupees. Okay. Cost of the gas. Please enter the average of the car in kilometers. Now, can we rewrite this particular statement just to make it more readable? Anybody, any idea? Anybody? You get confused at times. So let's try and make it as simple as possible. Your statement should not be confusing at all. So what is a statement that even a newbie can understand? Yes. This first statement also needs to be altered. He has said, please enter the cost of the gas in rupees. That again was not correct. So what should we say? He knows the price of the gas per liter and the average kilometer traveled per liter of gas. Okay. So here, what should we ask her? Please enter the cost of the gas.
Gas price.
Cost of gas per liter.
Please enter the cost of gas per liter.
Per liter.
Okay. So I'll rather say please enter the cost of the gas per liter. Okay. So cost of the gas per liter and units of measurement is rupees. So I could just put rupees in brackets or I could say in rupees also. That's our choice. So please enter the cost of the gas per liter. So I asked her to give her a message. Please enter the cost of the gas per liter. So this is cost of the gas. It's cost of the gas per liter. I'll change the name of the variable. Gas cost per liter. Say gas cost per liter. So let's change it. Gas. The most difficult thing in programming, believe me, is naming. You have something in your mind and the other person who reads it interprets in a different way. So it's always a challenge to use right names. So we'll just take up the challenge. We'll try and see to it that we give as meaningful names as possible. Okay. So there was an improvement that we brought about in the first statement. Please enter the cost of the gas per liter in rupees. Then average. Now, how can you rephrase this statement? Come on, although it is correct, how will you rephrase?
Please enter the average kilometer per travel per liter.
Okay. Anybody else? If I now ask, instead of enter those, if I ask her a question, how much the car, how many kilometers how about this statement? If I ask, how many kilometers does your car travel in 1 liter gas? Now, is there any confusion? What is average or something like that? Is this statement better or the previous one is better?
This one.
This one.
Ask a question where there is no scope of any ambiguity. Okay. Should we say average of the car? What should we say? That's okay. Average per liter. I say car average per liter. Separate car average per liter. Now that we have accepted it, it's time for us to do the calculation. So we have some
पावभाजी
variables.
आणायची
Then
तुम्हाला नाही विचारलं
you could mute your camera. You're saying
काय कसलं आणायला लावलंय तुम्ही
turn off
फ्लावर
your
नको काय
mic.
मम्मा लवकर जा अरे बोर आहे घरी पण जाऊन
Kita, pay attention. There you go. Total trip distance in kilometers divided by, we had car average per liter divided by car average per liter. So that's where we'll calculate the total gas required. Now that calculated the total gas required, okay, it's time for us to also calculate the cost of the gas, total cost of the gas. That's okay. So total cost of the gas is total gas required into gas cost per liter. So this total gas required is total liters of gas required, correct? So let's be very clear about what it is. Total gas. How do you rename this?
Gas in liters required.
Total gas
In liters.
Total.
Yes.
liter gas required. Instead of just saying total gas required, total liters gas required. So think about some names which will give better idea as to what are we doing. And then that variable we use over here, total gas required. I'm saying total liters of gas required into gas cost per liter. That will give you total cost of the gas. Okay, and then the total cost of the gas in rupees is double quotes. Your E should end over here, and then you could go ahead saying stop. Although this is okay, I'm happy. I'm okay with this symbol, but then we had the more appropriate symbol over here to say stop, and the more appropriate symbol to terminate is this. Okay, although the first one is also acceptable to me, I don't mind. Say stop, and we'll just increase the font size slightly. So,
Sir, is it compulsory to keep stop in capital?
Is it compulsory to?
Write stop in capital letters?
101%. It is definitely compulsory to say stop. That's 101%. I repeat again. The reason for that is when you start with a process, remember for programs, we said every program should have one start and one stop. Means you start somewhere and end up at some stage. It should not be a lifeline process.
Sir, I am asking whether it should be capital or is it okay to write in short?
Okay,
It should be capital always. Stop.
that doesn't matter. The word letters doesn't matter. It should have start, stop. Where you write it, this is also okay, and this is also okay. Yesterday I had written in capital, that was also okay. So the casing for start and stop, that doesn't really matter. That doesn't matter. But then every program should definitely have a start and a stop. So let's have a look at this code once again. Start, we have defined all the required variables. We have specified the type of the variable plus that variable which was constant. We asked you to enter the gas cost of the gas per liter in rupees. So we accept it. Then we say how many kilometers does the car travel? Does your car travel in 1 liter of gas? So it's a very simple question. Even a person who is not very familiar with the terminologies will also understand. We accept the car average per liter. And then we do the calculation. What is the calculation? Total trip distance in kilometers. That's 360 divided by the average. So he has calculated the total gas required. Once the gas required is known, it was multiplied by the cost of the gas per liter to find the total gas cost of the gas. And then the results were displayed. So that was a perfect solution to come with. So we just improvised on that solution. Prithviraj has also given the solution where the logic was correct, but then variable definitions, everything is equally important. Okay, double quotes and other things are equally important. Here again, I have missed out on double quotes and you all failed to identify, it looks like. Okay, यहाँ भी एक statement खत्म होने पर I should put double quotes. So that double quotes just to differentiate, ये input है, so this is output. So that the double quote is something which is necessary. Now have a look at this and let me know if anybody has an issue. Any questions anybody has, please ask before we move to the next statement, next example. But this time around, we'll write a pseudocode. Yesterday we wrote flowcharts. We have drawn flowcharts. But for the next one, we'll go ahead with pseudocode. Any questions as far as this solution goes? It's a perfect solution that he has come up with. I will export it as PDF and share with all of you. Export as PDF. The reason why we are starting the variable name from program name sequences tomorrow when you have to revise, you know, these are the examples of sequence, these are the examples of selections and so on. So I have saved it for myself and I'll also share with you all. Any questions, anybody? Especially those who are absent yesterday, any questions? Since there are no questions, let's move further. And let's take up another one. So there is another question that was regarding the temperature. Okay. If you solve the problem regarding temperature, she has solved it.
Sir, can you share the problem?
Yeah, I will share the problem. So the problem. Rajan needs to change a Fahrenheit temperature to Celsius. Use Fahrenheit temperature of 80 degree to test your solution. And the formula has been given. The temperature in Celsius is equal to 9/5 Fahrenheit minus 32 into Fahrenheit minus 30. That's a formula that is known formula. It's given. So you are supposed to calculate. I'm sharing this file as well, so that you will have it for your quick reference. So for those who are not there, send the file in the chat window, sequence assignments. So you could just have those problem statements right in front of you. Okay, so this was the problem statement. Let's see. Ashish, have you drawn it or it is on a piece of paper? Didn't hear anything from Ashish, but he said he has done it.
I haven't solved it, sir.
You haven't solved. Okay. So let's see what Monica has done. Let's have a look at the variables. So it becomes so nice. I can quickly check and I can make the correction there and there itself. So that's the beauty of this tool that we have now. So let's start. Okay, so we start, and once we start, so that's too big a start. Really not, and that was not a mistake though. So now she has defined some variables. So how many variables is she defining? 2. Look at the problem statement. The problem statement also does not require you to have too many variables. It is very clear. It says Rajan needs to change Fahrenheit temperature to degree Celsius. Okay, so that means we have input which is in Fahrenheit and we would like to convert it to degree Celsius. So that's very obvious. So she has 2 variables, numeric degree Celsius and numeric degree Fahrenheit. Okay, that sounds good. So these are 2 variables that we have. I'll again do a left alignment for both of them. I prefer left alignment. So let me select both of them. Let us say left align, and we could adjust where you would like to have. Okay, so these are 2 variables that we have. Variables that are required that has now been defined. We need to accept the degree temperature. Please enter the temperature in degree Celsius. Now that's exactly opposite it says. Needs to change Fahrenheit temperature to Celsius. So in a hurry,
Sorry, sir.
Monica
In
has
hurry, to draw a
misinterpreted
diagram.
the statement. So that's the very important thing we said. Unless you do not read, how will you understand what is the problem? So you are done. These are the kind of logical mistakes that we end up committing, and they are the most dangerous one. The problem itself has changed totally, and then the formula is also not applicable. This formula is not applicable. Watch it. How big the mistake becomes just because of small misinterpretation. She has accepted the temperature in degree Celsius, and for calculating, she is multiplying it in degree Fahrenheit. How is it possible? Do you have the value for degree Fahrenheit? There is nothing for degree Fahrenheit that she has as of now. So if you do not have anything for degree Fahrenheit right now, how are you going to solve it for degree Fahrenheit when you do not have that particular data, when you don't have that particular data? So it was very important that you read the problem statement very, very carefully. So it was not please enter temperature in degree Celsius. Plus, the quotes at the beginning should also be there. So what should have been the right message? Come on, anybody?
Please enter the temperature in degree Fahrenheit.
So not degree Celsius, but degree Fahrenheit. So you'll ask the user to enter the temperature in degree Fahrenheit, and so accept it. So here, instead of degree Celsius,
Sir, we also have to give unit, no? Unit for Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit itself is unit. Am I right or wrong? Others?
We don't want to write Fahrenheit. After that, F, we can write F also, no? in that sentence.
That's just a
Right.
shortcut. But am I right or not? Fahrenheit itself
Yes,
is
sir, you are
a unit of measurement. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So Fahrenheit itself is unit of measurement. So there is no need for us to say anything more. Okay.
सर वो वेरिएबल का स्पेलिंग चेंज है.
Let's just jump into the next one. I don't know. So we have please enter temperature in degree Fahrenheit. Yeah, you're saying something, Viraj?
सर वो स्पेलिंग वेरिएबल का अलग है. आपने अलग लिखा है और मोनिका ने अलग लिखा है.
Sir, numeric degree Fahrenheit चे spelling चुकी. N missing है जिससे. Starting में.
FAHRENHEIT.
हाँ.
Here, Fahrenheit हो गया. Name of the variable and the name that we use in the messages actually doesn't matter. It's better that we have something which is common. So then we accept the variable value. Here we go. So we accept it over here, degree Fahrenheit. So accepted the temperature in degree Fahrenheit. What should be the change that we should be doing in this formula? Anybody? It's totally wrong. It was processed. Okay. What is the here? Let me connect this. Connected this. What change should I do in the formula? Quick, anybody?
सर वो ब्रैकेट फ़ारेनहाइट के बाद लगा
Bracket में
क्लोजिंग ब्रैकेट पहले -32 नहीं होगा पहले
तो
मल्टीप्लिकेशन
Fahrenheit -32 है ना, बराबर है ना? ये डिग्री Fahrenheit है, उसको -32 कर लिया इंटू 5/9. करेक्शन है या नहीं है?
सर 5/9 को ब्रैकेट में डालना पड़ेगा.
5/9 should be in.
इन ब्रैकेट.
Does it make a difference if I don't put in brackets?
सर मल्टीप्लिकेशन साइन बीच में पहले ब्रैकेट
साइन अगर आप बता ही नहीं रहे क्या करना है तो कैसे चलेगा? So 9/5 ब्रैकेट में डालो ना डालो, that will not make a difference, but multiplication will definitely make a difference. Here we understand if there is nothing, that means it's multiplication. Computer will not understand. So you'll have to specify what is an operation that has to be carried out. So that was the most important thing. Specify the operation that needs to be carried out. Now that we have specified the operation that needs to be carried out, you get the answer in degree Celsius, and then that result, what is the answer in degree Celsius that we are supposed to display. So with the temperature in degree Celsius is what? Where is the variable name? If you have calculated the temperature, you also have to display the result. Is just is not good enough by just saying is. We'll have to specify the variable name that is degree Celsius. Okay. We'll have to specify the variable name, and that's what we have done. So we have specified the variable name to perform that particular operation. Okay. This is the last statement that we always have is stop. Every program should have a start and stop. So we'll have to stop. Again, I go to flowcharts. I take the right symbol to stop. So that's the symbol that we should be using for stopping, or the end stop. You may say end, stop, everything is okay, but use the right symbol. Okay. So you say stop. So we have stop. So that's the right way to go about solving this particular example. Have a look at this. If there are any questions, ऐसा क्यों किया सर, इसकी जरूरत नहीं थी, any questions anybody, please let me know. Simplest one, we define two variables, accept the enter the temperature in degree Fahrenheit. We accept what kind of temperature we like to have. We accept the degree Fahrenheit. Then we calculate 5/9 into that symbol was very important. Degree Fahrenheit -32. We get the answer that is degree Celsius. and then we say temperature in degrees Celsius is so and so, and then we stop. That was a nice attempt, Monica. But then whatever corrections has to be made, logical mistake was there that we had taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Any question, anybody? Any question? Okay. Are you getting it, everybody? Now, since we have solved 2-3 examples right now in the class, let me have a look, share the another question. Go to exercise number 5. All of you go to exercise number 5. Anybody has solved this exercise number 5? Like yesterday, I'll give you a chance to discuss, and then you will all solve it on your own. So I am
Sir,
putting
I have
out in
done.
the. Pardon? You have done it?
Yes, sir.
Can you
I
share?
tried. Yes,
Can you
sir.
share?
Yes, sir.
Please. You have on a piece of paper or in the tool, draw diagram.
Tool, sir, tool.
Can you share your screen then with us?
Yes, sir.
That's not right. We say, sir, देखा भी नहीं आपने, right नहीं कह रहे. Okay. पर देख चुका है solution. That's not right. Okay. Now let's see where your friends can help you out identifying it. So does everybody have the solution problem statement? I have already shared the problem statement. You have to now look at statement number 5. I'm breaking out into rooms. I'm giving you 10 minutes to solve that problem. You have to quickly solve the problem within 10 minutes. And in the tool itself, every group should solve it. So in group also, one person, you discuss and you start drawing it. I'm giving you permission to share your screens as well. I'm giving you all permission to share your screens. So all of you can share your screens. So let me just grant permission to all of you to share screen. All participants can share the screen. All of you have permission to share your screens. I'm breaking out into rooms. There are 12 of us. So if I exclude myself, so 3 people in one this thing. Okay. And I'm creating 3 to 4 people in one group. And it's 8:51. By 9 o'clock, you should all be ready with the solution, the picture that has been drawn. Is 10 minutes okay, everybody, or you need more time? Minutes okay, or you need more time?
Okay, sir.
कुछ तो बोलो, I cannot hear you.
Okay.
Bhagesh, okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, 10 minutes में solution चाहिए मुझे, लिख के चाहिए. तो आप जल्दी से discuss करो. And if you need some extra time, let me know. I'm breaking out in the room. Everybody is going to turn on their cameras, even in the room. Participate in discussion. Give your ideas. Don't fight, but give your ideas. Accept if somebody gives a good idea. Ask question to your friends if you feel that idea is not going to work or any clarification. And all the cameras should be on. All the no turning on of the camera. Prithviraj, Monica, then Aditya, Ankita, turn on your cameras while you go ahead discussing the things.
The network connection is not so good, so I've switched it off.
Okay, Ankita. Turn on your
Yes,
camera.
sir.
Now I'm putting into groups. You have 10 minutes of time. It's 8:53. So 9:05 we all come again with a solution, and every team should have a solution. Out randomly into various groups. The first group is of Ashish, Harsh, Kaustubh, and Viraj. Second is Aditya, Ankita, Bhageshree, and Prithviraj. Third is Monica, Rahul, and Shashwat. But I think Monica and Rahul were together even yesterday. So let me move them to a different room for a change. Let me add Kaustubh to room 3 and Shashwat to room 1. Here. So I have just shuffled the rooms slightly. So rooms are open for you. Share, discuss, solve it, and then share the solution. Join the rooms, please. Even one, let me know. Is your solution ready? Ashish, Harsh, Shashwat, is your solution ready?
Sir, just a minute.
No, sir.
It's around 2 minutes.
Yes or no? I couldn't hear you.
No, sir.
Only 2 minutes. Sir.
So,
Aditya, Bhagyashree, Prithviraj.
वो आपने जो करेक्शन बताया वो समझ में नहीं आया.
Aditya, Bhagyashree, Prithviraj.
Yes, sir.
Okay, solution is ready. Very good. Room 3, Kaustubh, Rahul, Viraj.
no, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
half ready.
So only one team completed the solution, and that's room 2. Aditya, Bhagyashree, and Prithviraj. So who has the diagram flowchart?
I have. Sir.
Okay. So let's ask from room 2, Bhagyashree, their team, to share the solution. Bhagyashree, could you share your file with me?
Okay, sir. Yes.
So it will be easy for me to discuss with everybody. It's a good thing that she has completed, I mean, that team has completed. It's not just her, the team has completed. So even before looking at the solution, I'm very happy because it looks like you had a discussion in the right manner. You had 25 minutes, so that was good enough time to solve that particular problem. Bhagesh, share the XML file with me, draw.io.
Okay, sir.
So I can edit that same project. So share it quickly. I'm waiting. So now Bhagyesh has shared the file. Let's have a look at that particular file. That's not the file. Let's see whether Bhagesh's solution, the team 2, their solution is correct or not. Let's have a look at it. This is the font size. You could check. You could left or right. So wants to know the amount of paint needed. They needed to paint the walls and the interior side of the room. The wall and interior side of the room. Paint the walls and the interior side of the door of the room. So it very clearly says that he's not interested in painting the floor or the ceiling. Okay. So that we should understand over here. The problem is very clearly saying what they would like: interior side of the door and here you go. The chosen paint covers 100 square feet per liter, but there are 2 windows also. There are 2 windows. There are 2 windows. And test the problem with the following data. So now you are supposed to test the following with the data. That does not mean that that's the input statement for us. No, that's definitely not the input statement. That was just a data that is given for you to test whether your idea is correct or not. So that was just a dry run period. Koi data chahiye tha. So that was the data for dry run, nothing more than that. So you shouldn't have initialized the variables. If anybody had done so, you shouldn't have initialized the variable with these values. This is just some sample values that were given for you to test whether your solution is correct or not. Nothing more than that. So this was only test data. So that was not something that was to be used to initialize the variables. Here we go. Now team 2 has defined some variables. I defined some variables. Let me take them in center. Room length, room height, room width. Then window length, window ka 1 ka width. Window 2 ka length, window 2 ka width. Room ka surface area, area to be painted, area per liter, that's 100. Has it been given? It says chosen paint covers 100 square feet area per liter. Okay, this is per liter area 100. Okay, numeric amount, paint amount in liters. Then if anybody has any query, कि ऐसा sir सही है गलत है, तो do let me know. The unnecessary spacings that were given, so let's get rid of all those spacings that were given and do a bit of adjustment. So these are all manual settings that she did unnecessarily. Rather, she could have just accepted the variables and then change the alignment. These are totally unnecessary. They have done a lot of work. And then I could adjust the this thing. I could select all of them. Alignment and I indent the margin. That's good enough. So these are all the variables that are there. Then enter the room to be painted in feet. Okay. Enter the length of the room enter the length of the room. Okay, in feet. Okay, enter the length of the room painted in feet. Okay, that's okay. So room ka length find kariye. So first she's asking enter the length of the room to be painted in feet. Then enter the height of the room to be painted in feet. Okay. So एक बार length calculate कर लिया, अब height calculate कर लिया. Then room ka height is also what has been calculated. Then the next one says enter the width of the room to be painted in feet. Okay, room ka width भी calculate कर लिया. Now look, once you have calculated this much information was good enough for you to calculate the area of the room. Yes or no? Bhageshji?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you shouldn't have waited for you to have all the inputs and only then I'll start with the calculations. No, since you have enough information to calculate the details of the room, especially the area, you could have done that calculation here itself. That could actually make it easy for others to understand as well. Because then later somewhere you must be doing some calculations. Oh yes, here you are doing calculations. And these calculations are like difficult. Why? Because you have written such a big formula. Okay, we'll do two things. पहला check करेंगे ये formula वगैरह सही है क्या? And then once you check whether the formula is correct, then we'll see on the improvement as well. Then she's asking to enter the first window length in feet. Enter the first window's length in feet. Enter the length in feet of the first window. Okay. And then window 1 ka length. Then she's accepting window first ka, enter the first window width in feet. So width has been accepted. Then second window ka length in feet. Window 2 ka length has been accepted. Second window ka height has been accepted. Second window ka height has been accepted. Then height has been accepted. Now let's first see whether the calculations are right or not. Room surface area is equal to twice into room ka length into width plus room ka width into height plus room ka length into height. Is this formula correct or not? Come on, quick. To calculate the surface area. Only the inner ones, not the ceiling.
Twice नहीं होगा.
Louder?
Twice नहीं होगा क्योंकि
Twice नहीं चाहिए. But ये बाकी तो सही है ऐसे. Room length into width, room width into height, room length into height. Is this all required?
Yes, sir.
ये all is required. तो आप ध्यान से देखोगे room का length into width, okay, plus room का width into height, plus room का length into height. Okay, can we simplify this formula? Can I say twice into room ka length into width into height? Can I simplify it? Come on, all engineers. Can I say room ka length into height into width 2 times?
Yes, sir.
So there is no need to make this formula so long. It could be room ka length into room ka width into room ka height. Twice of that. So why make it so scary and so lengthy, and then it only adds to confusion? Will this work or not? Will this give the same result what was given earlier?
Yes, sir.
It did not give the same result. Come on. All engineers, you should quickly tell me. Is this
The same
what has been
result.
written over here? Same as what she proposed earlier?
Yes, sir.
Jaldi bolo.
Yes, sir. Give the same result.
It will give the same result. Now, Bhagishri, what I would have done is room surface area, what we had to calculate, I could have rather calculated it just at the time when I had accepted the here, when I had accepted and got these results. Here itself, I could have calculated it. So I could have got the area calculated. ये नीचे क्यों जा रहा है?
सर वो फॉर्मूला गलत है मेरे ख्याल से।
हाँ सर, वो मल्टीप्लाई के जगह एडिशन होगा उसका, 2 times of length plus width plus height होगा।
And twice of length plus width into height. That's correct.
तो भी नहीं है फॉर्मूला से।
ये नीचे क्यों जा रहा है? I wonder.
Sir, maybe it is too close. That's why.
You're right. Probably. So I'll go back to what she had done earlier. So you are center point was aligned. That was the issue. I can get the center point right. It is working right. Let's keep that thing aside. That was not our
कॉपी
topic
किया
for
था तो हो
discussion.
जाता है।
No, let's take it down as where she had kept it. That doesn't matter much. Here we go. So we had the formula that was there. So we have simplified that formula even further. You can shift it later.
सर वही
हाँ।
सिंपलीफाइड नहीं हो गया, रॉन्ग हो गया।
Order?
रॉन्ग है ये फॉर्मूला।
नहीं
Sir,
होगा ऐसे?
सर फॉर्मूला दूसरा
नहीं होगा?
नहीं होगा सर, चाहिए तो सेम वैल्यूज डाल के चेक कर सकते हैं दोनों फॉर्मूला।
No, I'm asking.
तो
सर रूम का सरफेस एरिया चाहिए तो लैटरल सरफेस एरिया होगा क्यूबॉइड का, और उसका फॉर्मूला है 2 into ब्रैकेट लेंथ प्लस ब्रेथ ब्रैकेट क्लोज मल्टीप्लाई बाय हाइट।
Plus width
सॉरी सर,
multiplied by height.
लेंथ प्लस ब्रेथ मल्टीप्लाई बाय हाइट, 2 into लेंथ प्लस ब्रेथ मल्टीप्लाई बाय हाइट।
So will this work? So will this work?
यस सर। सर yes sir, it will work.
Formula she had written was too lengthy for anybody, and most of us would have got confused. So we could think about a formula which is easier to understand. So check it out if this is right. So what will happen over here? It will be room length into height plus room width into height.
Sir, again wrong.
Twice of that it says. Will this give the right answer?
No, sir.
Yes or no?
No, sir.
What is the, how do you simplify the formula that she had written? I definitely would not like to have the formula that she had written. It was too lengthy formula. I'll rather break into two parts, or I would simplify it even further. Take the calculations and see whether it works right or not. Simplify that formula. You would like to calculate the area of the, so there are two rooms, there are two walls, first wall, second wall, and the opposite facing walls. And since we are only accepting height and width, we are assuming that the opposite facing walls are of the same dimension. So 2 into the चाहिए. The opposite facing wall के लिए क्या चाहिए? First wall के लिए आपको चाहिए the length into height, and second के लिए चाहिए width into height. So this formula is correct, I think. I think this formula is correct. And if it is not correct, just prove me it is wrong. Okay. Assume, understand करो, दो रूम, एक रूम है, उसमें दो दीवारें हैं. First this side and the other ones, two other facing and two facing this side. So we require, so एक wall लेते हैं. You may be sitting in the room, take one wall. So you want to have the length into height, and second wall, suppose it's facing right in front. So that's width into height. So length into height and width into height. So length plus width, that is a common, means height is common. So room length plus room width into height, and twice of that. So this twice, I should rather keep it outside. Okay, it will not be twice of room ka length into width plus height. I could rather say twice of the calculation that has been done. Let's say it like this.
Sir, I think it's wrong.
You cannot just say no. You'll have to give me a proof.
Yes, sir. I am there with the proof.
You have it?
Yes.
Tell me how.
Sir, do you agree with the previous original formula?
Yeah.
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 Just put the,
No,
all the
forget about
values.
this.
One.
Is this wrong? Tell me.
It's not equivalent to the previous formula.
No,
That's
no,
my
I'm not asking that. The formula may be wrong. Is this calculation right or wrong? Tell me. Yeah, X, Y, and Z. Okay. So this is the length of the room, the width of the room, and the height of the room. Three things. See the room in right in where you're sitting right now. So how will you calculate? Say I have a room. There is a wall on the left side. There is a wall on the front. Assuming that the opposite walls are of equal dimensions, this formula is right. Okay. This formula. But this is definitely right. And if not, tell me why it is not. How am I calculating? I'll let you know. Suppose this is a room. आपकी empty room है. We are assuming this wall and the wall which is on your side is of the same type, and this side wall and this side wall is of the same side. तो ये सामने वाली दीवार की अगर आपको एरिया फाइंड करना है तो लेंथ ऑफ द रूम प्लस हाइट इनटू हाइट, दैट विल गिव द एरिया ऑफ दिस रेक्टेंगल. देन द साइड वॉल, तो हाइट ये है और विड्थ चाहिए, तो height is common, the width and the length are different. Opposite walls are of same dimension. So that formula that we have come up with is probably right. If you have something else, let me know. So we have calculated the room surface area. Now the area to be painted. Now for us to know the area to be painted, we'll have to subtract from the room surface area the area of the window. So it says window ka length into window ka width, window 2 ka length into window 2 ka width. That will give the surface area of the room. And then she's multiplying with the amount of liter per required, and then she gets it right. But I will never have such large formulas in my code. I'll never have large formulas because they're confusing, difficult to understand. Plus, I'll not define these many number of variables. Listen to me very carefully. Yeah? Why would not define these many number of variables? Now tell me, this window 1 ka length and width, window 2 ka length and width, what is the purpose of using these variables? Yeah, room ka length and height. Yeah, height and width. What was the purpose of using these variables?
Area.
Only to calculate area. Now, if it was only to calculate area, what I would have done otherwise is, instead of saying room width and height, I could have just taken variables like width. Watch it, height. Now it could be height of anything, and length. So I'll try and reuse the variable length, height, and width. And here I could say, I wanted to calculate the area of the room. So I'll say room area. Then I have window 1 ka area. So 1 ka area. Then I'll have window 2 ka area. I'll not take these variables, window 2 ka width, okay, plus surface area. Okay, I'll just take room area, window 1 ka area, and window 2 ka area. Area to be painted. Okay. Area to be painted is to be calculated. And amount of paint amount per liter. Paint.
Last में wrong हो गया.
Louder?
Paint required wrong हो गया उसका. उसने multiply कर दिया divide करने के.
Formula देखेंगे, but I'm just thinking about variable names. The question says, amount of paint needed to paint only the walls. Okay, so paint required I'll say liters of paint required. So that's what I would like to calculate. So these are some variables that I have defined. So I just change the number of variables. Enter the length of the room to be painted in feet. Correct? I'll take the same variable length because I do not want to use it in any place. It was only meant for calculation of the area. So I have accepted the length. So after I have accepted the length, okay, it was what? Probably it was length of whatever it is. So it says enter the length of the room to be painted in feet. Then enter the height of the room to be painted in feet. So I'll accept into the variable called as height. Use this after I calculate the area. I actually don't need these variables. So these variables are required only till the time area was being calculated. So what I'll do next over here is I'll introduce operation over here, and that is to calculate the area. So what we were doing now, area calculation that we had done. So room area is what we had to calculate. So I'll just say room area. I'm saying room area is equal to so and so. So I have now calculated the area of the room. Now that I have calculated area of the room, now I am going to calculate the window ka area, correct? So I am going to say, please enter the width of the room to be painted in feet. अच्छा अच्छा मैंने गलत जगह डाल दिया क्या? ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं?
सर विड्थ भी इंट्रोड्यूस होगा ना?
चाहिए हाइट के बाद विड्थ चाहिए, तो हमने विड्थ भी एक्सेप्ट कर लिया. आफ्टर कैलकुलेटिंग द विड्थ वी कैन एक्चुअली इंट्रोड्यूस दिस एरिया. Here we go. So we have accepted the length, height and width. Then we say room area is equal to twice whatever the formula is. Correct me if I'm wrong in the formula. So enter the first window's length in feet. Okay. So window 1 ka length Q. Why not we use the same variables? It's just meant for calculation. So I'm going to use the same variable. That's again the length. So I'm not creating window ka variable a separate one. Enter the first window's width in feet. So I have the variable width. So the same area variable that I had used to calculate the area of the room, I'm using the same variable to calculate the width of the room, area of the room. And once I've done that, okay, I'll actually calculate window ka area over here. I'll actually calculate the area. And how will I calculate window area? I'll take this, I'll place it over here, room area ki jagah, window 1 ka area. In the process, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible, reducing the complexity. So I'm going to say length into width. So that's window 1 ka area. Room ka width nahi, just the width. Because we have not been asked to display the room ka width or height anything later. So window 1 ka area has now been calculated. Here. This area has now been calculated. Now we proceed further, and now we are expecting, please enter the second window's length in feet. So we have the second window, its length we would like to calculate. So I'm going to accept it into a variable called as length. I accept into a variable called as length. After we've done that, we're going to ask the user to enter the second window's width in feet. Okay. So I'm going to use the same variable. Why not use the same variable? Because they were only meant for calculating the area. So we got this. Now we have already done this calculation. Now here I'll say window area 2. Window 2 ka area is equal to, again we have this length into width. Length into width is what we really wanted to have. So we have calculated window 1 ka area. We have calculated window 2 ka area. So we had window 1 area, window 2 area, room area, all the 3 areas have been calculated. Now area to be painted. Now tell me what would be the formula for area to be painted? Yes. What would the formula be?
Room area minus window 1 ka area plus window 2 ka area.
Very correct. So room area minus window 1 ka area. Why write such big formulas? Okay. So 1 ka area plus window 2 ka area. Not more readable than what team 2 had done. So room area minus window 1 ka area plus window 2 ka area. So that will give you the area to be painted. Now once we know what's the area to be painted, once we know what's an area to be painted, the amount of paint required in liters. So the formula variable was liter paint required. Say liter paint required. So area to be painted into per liter area is the per liter area, that is 100. Area to be painted into per liter area is what we have got. Now that is paint required. Area to be painted into. Is that right? Into?
Divide.
Or should it be divided by?
तो by mistake multiply हो गया था.
Logical mistake. And they are very difficult to identify. So we have done two different calculations. Here is one calculation, here is another calculation. And we have got the results. So ये आपके दो है. I could have put both the calculation into one window as well. That's also perfectly okay. And then once we have done this, we are supposed to display. I was telling you कि आपका display गलत है. Are we going to use this symbol for displaying? So for display, we had another symbol. Your message is in letters to paint only the walls of the interior side of the room. Okay, only to the paint the walls. Okay, is
Sir, why it is read? A liter paint read.
why is it?
Read, it should be required, no?
Hello?
It should be required, no, sir?
Yeah, but the painter is asking only for the. He says
No, sir, you wrote read down. Read. One step above.
Spelling mistakes.
It is required, right?
the amount of paint required to paint only the walls is paint amount, a liter paint required, whatever is the variable name that we have. So it was liters of paint required. So that's the variable that we have. Now we are connected. And then we have to stop. Here comes our stop. So we are stopped. So this is the solution that we have now devised. Is there any here I forgot to put a connector. So, other way around.
सर रूम विड्थ के उधर सिर्फ विड्थ आएगा.
Let me see.
Yes, sir, wait होगा.
नीचे क्यों जा रहा है? So, yeah, Rahul, you are saying something?
ऐसे दैट वो वेरिएबल हमने विड्थ लिया है ना, सिर्फ इधर रूम विड्थ लिखा हो और ये नीचे भी
Acha, yeah, formula. Okay, so we had a variable only as length and the corrections here, height. What we have done is in the process, we have avoided using unnecessary variables. So we have reused the variables that we had. So whatever variables we had, we have just reused them to fulfill our requirement.
सर
There
ऊपर
are no unnecessary word creating variables. So number of variables have also reduced. So what are we doing? We are first asking to enter the length, accepted the length, height, accepted the height, width, accepted the width. Then we calculated the area of the room. Then window के लिए length accept करना है. Window का length we accept the same variable length. For window का first window का width we accept the same variable width. We calculate window 1 का area on the same lines. I need to figure out ये lines कैसे ऐसे join हो रहा है. Jumping one level down, I don't know. Okay, I'll take this. So, point is we should get it right. कैसे लाया, that's a different issue. Anyway. So we have window 1 area, then we have asked the user to enter the window 2 ka length in feet, we accepted the length. Second window ka width in feet, we accepted the width, calculate the area of the second window. Then area to be painted is room ka area minus window 1 ka area plus window 2 ka area. Paint required is total area to be painted divided by the per liter area. And then we display the answer and we stop. Now tell me, Bhagyashree, is this formula easy to, the way we have calculated, is that easy? Or that formula that your team had come up with, that was easy?
It is easy.
This is easy. So make sure, make it algorithm, one of the property of the algorithm we said, it should be unambiguous. So there should not be any confusion that is there. And if it's going to lead to confusion, it's not the one that is recommended. So there should not be any confusion in the one who reads the code. They should find it easy to understand. And we have introduced, it's not just I removed some variables, I actually introduced 2 more variables, window area 1, window area 2. But that just makes it more easy to understand. So we first calculate area of first window. Then we calculate area of the second window. Then the total of the 2 windows we have separated from the room area. So we got the area to be painted. Now area to be painted divided by per liter area. That gives you the liter paint required. And then we display the result and so on. So take your time. Make sure that you are not hurrying to the solution.
Sir,
Read
wait.
the question. Yes, please.
Sir, there is one mistake with room width you have written. Sir, down,
Where?
down. Sir, down. Sir, here.
Width. Okay, there is nothing else. There is no such variable as room width that we have. So we don't have any such variable as room width. Okay. The simple, straightforward solution that we have. Now the next tool that we have that will give us an opportunity to test these kind of codes. So how to test that code, we'll see later. But then for you, there are still some assignments to be solved. So I'll save this particular file. Sharing these files with you all. Have a look at these examples again for your reference. And believe me, you should make a serious attempt . Will make a serious attempt to, you are supposed to make a serious attempt to solve this particular question. So solve कीजिएगा and be ready with the solution, whichever problem that you have not solved. I'm sharing the solutions with you all. Just hold on for a minute. All the solutions that we have discussed. Sharing these files separately with you all. Let me know if you have received all the 1, 2, how many of them? 5 files.
Yes, sir.
Keep it for your reference. There are in all 10 assignments which are given. 5 we have solved, 2 we have done every 3 assignments are yet remaining. I want you to solve those assignments to come ready tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll show you how to write algorithm for similar kind of problems and how to test it. So what two new tools, how do they support us to test the solution is what I'll discuss tomorrow. So that's all for today. Any queries anybody have, please ask. Any query? What did you learn out of today's session? Quickly tell me. Yeah. What did you learn out of
Sir,
today's
it
session?
can be, we can simplify it in a better way so that everyone can understand it. Sir,
Yeah, I'm listening.
sir, we can simplify it for everyone so that it gets easier to understand. And variables, you can the variables can be shared.
Reused. Don't say shared, reused.
Yes, sir, reused in different situations.
Yeah. Good. What is your learning?
Sir, to understand the problem properly and not to rush into solution and to reduce complexity.
Correct. First, since your team did not do that, you went and taken them as initial variables for the initial values for the variables.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and you say it was only for testing purpose. So take your time, read the problem statement carefully. Don't be in a hurry to design an algorithm. That's a very important learning for your team. Then
yes, to provide naming conventions which are simple and less confusing.
Correct. So no ambiguity. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
Rahul?
Sir, how can we use reuse the variables in our programs? That's a learning point. And how to avoid extra variables.
That's what reasons avoiding extra.
Means we can use it for our simplicity, but when we express our logics, that time we need to be short and simple.
Short
not
and
to
simple. Don't
elaborate.
write complex formulas. Very big formulas are difficult to debug. Very big formulas are difficult to test. So make sure for testing purpose, since I have area of the room separately, so I can print and see what's the area of the room. Don't write such big formulas which are very difficult to understand. And there are chances where you miss out a bracket or you miss out on some symbol. It's very difficult to understand. So avoid writing big formulas. Harsh?
यस सर सर अगर मतलब बड़े फॉर्मूलाज होंगे तो फिर मतलब उनको मतलब शॉर्ट मतलब डिवाइड करके फिर मतलब सारे फॉर्मूलाज को एक में यूज करना है जैसे वो
Okay.
विंडो वाला किया मतलब उन्होंने एंड में मतलब ये डायरेक्टली माइनस मतलब पूरा वापस फॉर्मूला ही लिखा था और हमने पहले वो इंट्रोड्यूस करके फिर बाद में मतलब एरिया और
क्या
सेपरेट किया
हुआ?
तो फिर तो सर उससे मतलब ये भले अब ये छोटा फॉर्मूला तो मतलब इतने मतलब ब्रैकेट्स में कंफ्यूजिंग नहीं है अगर बड़े फॉर्मूलेस होंगे तो फिर ब्रैकेट्स में गलती होने के चांसेस है मतलब अगर काफी बड़ा फॉर्मूला तो फॉर्मूला को पार्ट्स में ब्रेक डाउन करके फिर मतलब एंड में पूरा एक साथ जो 3-4 फॉर्मूलास है वो यूज कर लो
अंडरस्टैंडिंग इंप्रूवमेंट नहीं हो रहा है?
सर
आसान नहीं हो रहा है फॉर्मूला ब्रेक करने से पढ़ने में आसानी नहीं हो रही है?
यस सर वही और सब
बाकी हाँ।
वेरिएबल्स भी यूज कर सकते हैं और सब मतलब क्वेश्चन को ध्यान से पढ़ने और सब लेफ्ट अलाइनमेंट रखना है
It was only meant for display purpose, left alignment. Okay. See,
So for me, don't be hurried to write a code. Think
your
properly.
team especially,
and,
I told you there is a mistake, correct?
yes.
And you went on to the next problem and without even giving consideration. So if somebody tells you, remember presentation in front of seniors because of the experience can identify certain things. So you should value when I'm telling you there is a mistake, you should have not been in a hurry to rush to the next one. Take time, test the code, see where things are going wrong, correct? So not to hurry to the solution. That's very important.
Then think properly and then go to the write a code.
Correct. Correct. That's correct. Shashwat,
Sir, the variable should be reduced so that the flow chart will be easily understood by anyone. And also we should always check the logic. Is it correct or not?
Okay, लॉजिक तो करेक्ट चाहिए. You take time to लॉजिक करेक्ट लेकिन उसके लिए टाइम दो सोचने के लिए and then discuss it. Okay, your team was discussing least I feel. You, Harsh and Viraj, Viraj, Ashish. I thought so. Means I don't know. I just came in and went out, but I thought you आप लोग ज़्यादा discuss नहीं करोगे. That is not good. You should discuss it.
Correct.
Aditya. That Aditya has some issue. Okay, so with that, we'll
Hello,
stop. Yes, sir.
hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. For me, is to understand the problem properly and formulate it accordingly, and don't rush while formulating the solutions. First, test properly, and then reduce the complexity. It should
Okay.
be look clean. It
Okay.
should be readable. It should be
It
more
should be
readable.
readable, but no testing cannot be done beforehand. Testing will only happen later. But then keep it simple. Try and keep it as simple as possible. Don't unnecessarily make it complex. Monica,
So learning for today is that don't be in a hurry, and even a small logical mistake can make a big difference. We need to be very clear while assigning.
so take your time. Take your time. Because later you're going to spend actually invest more time. So that time should not be wasted. Tostu?
Sir, I already gave, sir.
With that note, we'll stop here today. Solve all the other assignments. If there is a mistake in formula, Monica is saying there is one problem when the formula has been given wrongly. Rectify the formula and make sure that is solved. Okay, so read the rest of the questions, solve them. ये जो solve किए उनको solve मत कीजिए दोबारा. Just have a look at them. Those which you have not discussed in the classroom, solve them and be ready. Tomorrow we start with algorithms and I'll teach you techniques to test the solution. कैसे test करते solution is an additional thing that we'll see tomorrow. And we'll make use of tools which are now available for testing. So we'll speed up our operation of testing. So thank you all for attending the session today. See you tomorrow. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.